Hello and welcome to Desi Martini. My name is Sandeep. Right now I have with me the hot and the handsome Mr. Shiv Pandit as well. The actor will next be seen in Khuda Haafiz with Shivaliko Oberoi and Vidyut Jammwal. Hello and welcome to the podcast show.
Hi, Sandeep. Thank you so much for having me on your show. And I must tell you, of course, last few days, one has been promoting Khuda Haafiz. But I must tell you, the best background that I've ever
Uh,
seen since we're all doing digital interviews, the best background belongs to you. You have by far the most colorful and the most vibrant background out of any interview that I've done.
well, thank you so much. I take that as a compliment. Huh?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Okay. So, Shiv, you've got to tell me at the very outset, how has the lockdown been treating you? I know this is like a very common question. You must have heard it from thousands of other journalists that matter, but you know, I have to
Well,
ask it because you're in
I
that
have to be
state right
honest. I have to be honest with you. It's been a work in progress. So I've been in my parents' house. I'd come here for a day with the object of
now.
leaving the next day. I'd come here for a family function, and then suddenly the COVID became a very big reality, and I sort of decided to stay on here itself. So yeah, staying. I'm staying with my parents now for such a long duration of time in one go after nearly 10, 12 years, man. 10-12 सालों के बाद I'm staying with my parents. So it's been a little
Right.
interesting staying with them. Having said that, it's also been it's been a blessing in disguise because during this time I would always have been worried about their safety, and one would have always been about thinking if everyone's fine or not. So luckily, touchwood, the entire family has sort of managed to stay together during this time. So very happy about that. And yeah, lockdown has been interesting, not to say the least. It's been very interesting, but I'm hoping. I think अब कुछ ज़्यादा ही हो गया. I think now it's time for everyone to sort of. One can only hope that this, the peak reduces and things get back to normal and we can start work, get back to what we love doing.
Nowadays with the kind of air that is like surrounding us, especially after the death of Mr. Sushant Singh Rajput, and the kind of conversations that have been ensuing on social media, and the kind of things that we get to hear and we get to see on a daily basis, especially in the lockdown and post the corona virus attack that happened on humanity, for that matter. Uh, what exactly is your take as far as the entire insider outsider thing is? Concerned precisely because the fact that you are an outsider yourself. I mean, if I may call you.
Uh, the thing is, the struggle is real here. It's definitely difficult for anyone who is not from the industry per se to crack it in this industry. It's much easier now to come here and work because I remember when I had come here, I never come here with the object of becoming an actor. But when I was in Mumbai, at that time I didn't even dream. I became I'm an actor by chance because it just so happened that somebody who knew me said, "Why don't you come and audition for this one commercial?" I did that, and when I started, facing the camera, it was almost like I tasted blood because I really enjoyed the entire experience, and I really wanted to continue doing what I was doing. But this I'm talking about, this commercial I shot back in 2005, and at that time it was a very different environment altogether in terms of the fraternity here. It's much easier now. There's social media. You can access people through social media. You have various people who are their contact details are there. There are different formats. You can work in a short film, in a web series. You can work in television. You can do feature films. You can do an OTT film. So there are a lot of formats. Earlier in उस ज़माने में इतने formats भी नहीं थे. So it was very difficult to crack it then. But I'm just very blessed that I've been able to manage to do it and to still survive so long. I started facing the camera in 2005 with this commercial, and it's been 15 years, man. I'm still here. I'm still talking to you, and it's been a pleasure, man.
Okay. All right. You started. I mean, you started with commercials. You drifted towards television shows. You did a few films. You were there in Shaitan. You were there in Love. Love, I think it didn't quite get a good theatrical release. It was again, I mean, it was
No,
released on Netflix, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Love was purchased by Netflix USA, and it was primarily it had a worldwide release in Netflix. Surprisingly, Love got immense worldwide critical appreciation, and Love got a lot of love worldwide. Surprisingly, in India, maybe the subject of homosexuality is still very taboo. It still is.
Absolutely.
Surprisingly, in India, the country that the film was made in, the actors are from India. India somehow never really gave it that amount. India, there was sections of society which gave it love, but not as much as the kind of appreciation and worldwide critical appreciation we got from various countries. I mean, people in Mexico, America, Eastern Europe. I mean, the list is endless. I can go on and on. That film has given me a worldwide, like a lot of people all over the world
Recognition.
have opened up their eyes to my work. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you have been a part. What I was driving at was, you have been a part of different mediums. What difference do you actually cull out from working in front of? I mean, obviously, when you're working for a film, you're working for the camera. But what exactly is the difference that you cull out in your head when you're working for, or when you're filming for a web series, or you're working for a film, or a television show for that matter? Or do you find any difference?
See, there is no difference per se when you face the camera and the actual act of acting. There is no difference in any format as such. But what I can certainly tell you is that there is more detailing in a web series, because the script allows you to detail a character a little more in depth in a web series. And what happens is, with each episode, or with every scene, you get that much more room, because the web series will have an 8-10 episode kind of format. You'll have that kind of ability to get into the characterization and detailing. In a film, it's a 2-hour film, 2.5-hour film. So you have to be more on the ball in terms of, if you want to bring out certain nuances as regards your character, and there's certain things we like as actors, we appreciate in other actors, and the audience also likes in actors. Yeah, the way that guy spoke, man, that was really cool. Or the way that guy had a twitch was very interesting. There's certain nuances which are there. So in a film, you only have that
Yeah,
two and
yeah.
a half hours. So you have to bring it in a much more, you have to be quick about it, and you also have to be very convincing about it, because you don't have that time to just keep on trying to build your character in that sense. You have to. I personally feel in any medium, you have to really believe what you're doing. It's just that certain mediums give you that much more time to play with that characterization, but eventually it all comes down to how confident are you when you're doing what you're doing. Because if you're not confident, the audience is so perceptive and so smart, they'll catch that. They're like, "Yari, yari, to acting kar raha hai." So that when someone is told, कि आपको ये, there's a believability. When that believability goes out the window, then that's not a very good thing to hear as an actor.
Exactly. Now, coming towards your film, Khuda Haafiz. Firstly, I need to know, how was it? I mean, what was perhaps one of the most difficult parts for you to kind of shoot for the film, and how was it shooting with Mr. Vidyut Jammwal?
Well, Khuda Haafiz has been a brilliant journey. It's taught me a lot about myself. It's taught me how much I can push myself as an individual, as an actor, as a performer, as a human being.
Yeah.
We've shot the film under very difficult conditions. We've shot in -2 degrees in Uzbekistan, pretending that it's probably 30, 40 degrees in the heat in the Middle East, because the location in Uzbekistan gave us that wonderful kind of landscape for us to be able to show the country which we are showing in the film. So literally during the takes, it used to be like, we used to be very, it used to be cold as hell, but we used to literally be focusing on pretending that we're in the middle of a desert. Apart from that, I had no idea about speaking Arabic before I started this film. Today, I can speak a few words and few lines and sentences of Arabic. Of course, I've worked a lot on my Arabic diction, my Arabic pronunciations, the way body language, things like that. Because एक अलग ही तरीके का उनका लहजा होता है बोलने का, and the way they behave, and when you speak Arabic, there is a way your mouth moves, your throat has a certain curve to it. Then uske baad, Vidyut and me sort of took some time to get acquainted, because although we've known each other, because the year that I was nominated for a Best Male Debut by Filmfare, Vidyut was also nominated for Force. So we used to keep meeting each other at various award functions, and I still remember I bumped into him at film fair, and we exchanged a few words. Uh, and it was lovely seeing him after all these years, where the first greeting that he gave me was that I'm very happy that you're part of this film. But then we had a very professional and a very positive working relationship. But somehow, after 2-3 weeks of filming, something clicked, and very I can tell you that he's become a very dear friend of mine now. Him and me have become we really gotten along like a house on fire. Not only him, but Ahana
Okay.
Kumra as well. So Ahana, me and Vidyut have become really great friends, and I'm just really glad because I've had a lot of friends from who are from outside of the industry. From within the industries, I literally have very Guinness few friends. So I know I have a lot of acquaintances, sure, but Vidyut has become a genuine friend of mine, and I'm very happy to have made his acquaintance, and that this bond that we share now.
Shiv, I kind of saw the film. It was pretty. I mean, sorry, I kind of saw the trailer. It was pretty intriguing. You've got to tell me a little bit about your role and how I mean, did you relate to the role and how you went along with the role? I mean, with your role, with your portrayal.
Well, to be honest with you, when I read the script, there was nothing in the script as such in terms of my character that I could relate to because it was uh, he was just a different kind of a guy in terms of very black and white, very kadak, very means business all the time. Uh, didn't have a very humorous side to him at all, which I as a person have. I'm a very I like to be very relaxed and chill and stuff like that. But the character as such uh, was a very no nonsense kind of a guy. So for him, for this particular character,
Okay.
I sort of just left uh, what I was thinking for the character on one side, and I completely followed my director's vision in terms of how he wanted this character portrayed. So I usually like to do that with most of my films because the director and the script writer have something in mind when they write the character. So rather than tackling that and putting your own brains to work, initially I always let them take the lead,
Hmm.
follow what they're doing, and then in their direction, I try and tweak a few things and give suggestions which sometimes they reject, sometimes they agree to. So it's a collaborative process in that sense, and I can assure you, whichever director I've worked with will vouch for that because I really pride myself on being a director's actor, and sort of I like it when they're able to lead the way, and my captain of I call him the captain of my ship. So my captain is telling me that you got to do this. So I'm going to do that. And so similarly, so for this particular project, I knew that I had a lot of hard work in store for me, which was great because any film which offers these challenges is a very exciting film to be a part of. If everything is so vanilla in terms of these are your lines and now you got to just go and say it and do your lines and this that's really boring. I always love it when I have to become something else. And then the joy is when the film is ready, you get to see the film, and you're like, man, I did that. Wow. That's something which is really interesting to do. So for this particular character, there was a physical transformation which one had to do. I had to become very lean and shredded because I was playing
Okay.
like a commando who was so there was a particular fighting style which was taught to me, which is used in the Batman films. It's called KC. So KC is a kind of a
Okay.
fighting style which was taught to me, and some grappling movements and Krav Maga, and then apart from that, the Arabic, the diction. There was a whole look. I've never had a mustache for any project. I had a nice mustache for this thing, a very Arabic and sharp looking kind of a mustache. So a lot of things went into it, and I owe it all to all the people. Like if there is any appreciation for this character, I can assure you, उस appreciation के पीछे 50 लोगों का हाथ. So it's not me, man. It's I really owe it to the entire team.
I'm sure all your efforts are going to be appreciated. I mean,
Thank you,
I literally am I'm a big appreciator of your works precisely because of the fact that I
thank
have
you so much.
I've been kind of following all your work.
Thank you,
I've seen you in Shaitan, I've seen you in Love, and I've seen you in so many other films for that matter. So yeah, I don't quite have any doubts as far as that is concerned.
thank you,
People
thank
definitely
you,
are going to see it and going to appreciate it.
thank you so much.
Shiv, my final question to you is, when we are talking about, obviously all the ongoing debates about nepotism and favoritism and everything for that matter. you are a newcomer, as you just said in my previous question, in the answer to my previous question. What exact? I mean, did you ever face something untoward for that matter that happened to you? I mean, in terms of, I mean, for instance, if you had been to an audition and you had auditioned for a role, and because of
I mean,
others having connections for that matter.
there was an interesting incident which happened to me, but that was not exactly because of nepotism or anything like that. See, the thing is that I'll come to that incident which happened, but as regards nepotism and things like that, look, it's prevalent in any industry. It's got nothing to do with just the film industry. It
Yes,
happens in
absolutely.
it happens in business. It happens in corporate. It happens in. I mean, it happens all over the place. To be very honest with you, if the film industry was a government body where the person who would get the job at hand would need to be an elected or the most talented Indian citizen, I can understand nepotism, sort of holds merit in that sense that it would be wrong. But this is a private industry with private money, and I
Mm-hmm.
think each producer, sort of backs his or her investment, keeping in mind what they feel would be the best possible setup for their investment. You know what I'm saying? So for them, they technically owe it to nobody to cast who they want to cast and who they don't want to cast. It's private money. It's a private decision, and I think we should all realize that. Now, of course, if somebody goes purposely to sabotage somebody, that's wrong in any industry, right? But having said that, I understood this game, and I knew that this is the reality of the situation. So I did not want to waste time trying to feel bad if I did not get something because somebody else jumped the queue. See, yeah, Sandeep, I'll be very honest with you. I've done a variety of work, and I have done
Yes.
that variety of work by not feeling bad. If one door closed for me, I knew I had confidence that 100 more will open for me. So if I was
So are you
doing,
implying that people have to be a little thick-skinned for actually going forward and going ahead in the industry?
sorry, pardon me, what was that?
Are you implying that people need to be a little thick-skinned as far as, I mean, only then you can
Yeah,
perhaps move
yeah,
ahead
why
in the
not?
industry?
Absolutely. I'm very thick skinned. You need to be thick skinned, man. You need to be able to deflect negativity and thick skinned, not with a negative connotation, but with a positive
Yes,
connotation
yes, absolutely.
where being thick skinned is like, dude, your armor is so, is so powerful that कोई आपका कुछ नहीं कर सकता. ठीक है, today you Sandeep will say, listen, Shiv, I'm not going to cast you. I don't want to cast you for whatever reason. Fine, no worries. I'll go to somebody else. मेरे कहने का मतलब है कि I believe in myself. That is something which I would like to tell everybody. You should really believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, be confident, work hard, because sitting at home is not going to get you anything. And if it's meant to be for
Absolutely.
you, it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to make avenues for yourself. Nobody's going to come and give it to you on a platter. You have to keep moving and keep working. That's what I always say. Anyway, coming back to that incident which I was telling you, I was doing television. I started my career doing television with one comedy show called FIR, and it became very popular, which I'm very grateful for, and I still get a lot of love for it. But during that time, I got cast in a very big production house's film as the main lead. I did some workshops for the same and stuff like that. And when it was time for me to sort of sign the contract, the director actually called me and said, "Listen, we can't cast you because you're too overexposed." And I was like, "What does that mean?" Because he said, "No, you're in television." I said, "So?" And this, ये मैं बात कर रहा हूँ 2007 की. And I was like, so I thought you knew I'm in
Okay.
television. I mean, there's nothing to hide. I've done FIR, and now I mean, so, no, you're too overexposed. I felt very
Yes,
bad
yes.
about that. But the thing is, coming back to what I just told you earlier, if I delved in negativity, or if I delved in feeling bad for myself and moping, then I wouldn't be here talking to you, right? 13 years non-stop after that incident, I have been working in various formats in various fields, because I did not let one person's judgment of me stop me, or one person's judgment of me define me. I have to define myself. So it's up to you how you do it.
Right. Okay. Shiv, even though I said it was my final question, there was one question that has actually cropped up in my mind all of a sudden. We're talking about your current film, the film that's going to be released on Disney Hotstar. And you've got to tell me, how was the entire camaraderie between you and Shivalika? That's one point that I missed.
Well, Shivalika, to be honest with you, has been a very happy kind of a person. She has a very positive and a lovely, vibrant kind of personality, and we, I mean, got along pretty well actually. She came on set with a very happy disposition and a very positive disposition, and there was no ice to break, because I think if you meet Shivalika in person, you'll see that just a very happy kid, and it was
In
wonderful.
fact, I just spoke to her before I had this
Okay.
interview with you. I just
Oh,
spoke to her.
really? Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, so then there you go. I'm sure you would have had a very nice and a laughing and a jovial and a very positive kind of an
sure.
interview with her, because she's just a very happy kid. And I think it's important in life to be around such people when you're working and when you're not working. So yeah, so it was definitely, she was like a breath of fresh air on set, and she was very positive to be around. So yeah, it was a lovely interaction with her.
Okay. And now, finally, my question to you, my last question to you
Sure,
is,
sure.
today, when you look back, firstly, are you in a happy space? And then, when you look back, when you see your career trajectory, uh, which is that one film that you perhaps you can point out and say, I could have done a better job, or I would want to do the film once again so that I could do a better job for that matter, a film or a television show or a web series, anything for that
Well, not in terms of better job, because I think each film has taught me my shortcomings and my assets and my shortcomings in its own way. So more than better job, there is one film which I think did not get its due, which we really worked hard on, and due to some I don't know, due to some technicalities or due to some production issue or whatever, that film was released for literally 2-3 hours in a cinema, and then it went straight to television. And that's a film called Mumbai Delhi Mumbai, which is on Netflix right now. And I get a lot of love and appreciation for it, whoever watches that film. But it did not get a proper release. And I feel, each film has nearly 100, 200 people who work on it. And when a product is
Yeah,
just released like
absolutely.
that with a whimper, you're not only punching the actor, the actor director in the
In the
gut.
gut.
You're punching those 200 people in the gut after उनकी 1.5 साल की मेहनत एक second में, it just gets nullified. So that is one film which I think did not get its proper. In fact, the director is a very very famous Marathi director, Satish Rajwade. He made Mumbai Pune Mumbai in Marathi, and I just feel that we
Okay.
deserve the proper release, and it's unfortunate that we did not get a proper release.
And today, wherever you are you in a happy space?
Yeah, I'm happy, man. I go through my ups and downs. I'm a normal human being. There are times I feel bad when I get some stuff, and at times when I don't get some stuff. At that times when I feel bad when I'm really gunning for something and it doesn't happen. But over the years, maybe maturity, maybe experience has taught me that look, you have to keep working. And earlier, what used to happen was, man, ये सपनों की दुनिया में I used to buy a lot into that. कि, oh wow, I should have the right permutation and combination. Then only I'll work. And what I realized was that I was wasting my own time sitting at home. And because, work gets you work. The more you work, the more experience you garner, the more confidence that you garner will help you in your work, because you must understand this is a business. There is money at stake. There's a lot of money, a lot of factors at stake. So you
Yes.
better have your A game. You better have your A game in place when you come on a set. Nobody's got time, especially for an outsider, man. I mean, nobody's got time to sit and give me multiple chances. When I come on set, I better be so sharp and focused so that whoever works with me, like, what a wonderful experience working with the guy, and he's done a terrific job. He's done justice to the script at hand. So that's something which which I've learned over the years, and I hope to keep getting better and better at what I do.
All right. So with that, we come to the end of the lovely and the wonderful Mr. Shiv Pandit out here. My name is Sandeep with Hindustan Times Online. Thank you so
Thanks so
much.
much, Sandeep, for having me. It was a real pleasure being with you on the show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.